So yesterday I talked about a poll that for a Warhammer 40k AU that I did not yesterday, and I basically talked about in there like it was a poll, and you guys voted, and people over on Patreon voted for it. And as always, if you guys like to be part of those polls as well as check out like movie reviews or episode reviews of things, just hit the link below, head on over to my description, hit the first tier on my Patreon, and that'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, yeah. So I did too, because I'm such a glutton for fucking punishment. I decided, hey, I can't help myself, let's do another. And this one won by a short margin, because honestly, I was very close. Like, it was a tie between this and another one that I decided to just use the idea for as one of the villains or the villain, I should say, of the Fire Warrior Lose story, and that's Necron Bellows. But this one won by one vote, and that vote was for Dipper and Mabel, Imperial Knights. So here we are, a Gravity Falls Warhammer 40k AU, which I have done in the past. A few times, I think. But hey, never heard, that's the thing with this Warhammer stuff, is that you can always go back to the well and do more stuff, am I right? Anyway, I want to thank everyone who did vote for these storyline, for these videos. And like I said, if you'd like to be part of the future polls in the future, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and hit the first tier. I already said all that, didn't I? Like, I just realized, yeah, I said all that already. What the fuck am I doing? Anyway, let's get started. So the story begins we begin on a Imperial world, and in here, the Pines family are part of noble descent. Like, they are a line of Imperial Knights. They've been fighting for the Imperial. It's been said that they've been fighting as Titan pilots for, or just knights. I know it's been said both ways, but anyway, I'm getting into semantics. Anyway, so the family's been in Titan pilots since the Horus Heresy. Like, there are stories of the Great Pines family guiding Titans into battle against Horus and his traitor legions in the battle for Terra. So that's how long they've been around. So now here we are. The Pines family has. The thing is, the Pines family's kind of shrank a bit. They've been going on, some of the most dangerous missions in the crusade to protect humanity from the Xeno scum, and the family also either die in battle, or they just, the machine of the Titan the weapons they pilot eventually do kill them. So it's it's great to be a knight, right? Anyway, so from here, the twins' parents, Dipper and Mabel, or as Dipper's calling himself, Mason. It's just Dipper in here is a nickname by Mabel, and they've been living on this Imperial world. And their parents had died during, both were knights of their own right, pretty, stout knights in their own, and pretty strong in their own right, but they're both dead. Like, they both died in the service of the Imperium. Their father died during the Battle of Armageddon, and their mother died fighting off a Tyranid invasion. So now the line of succession falls to the twins. Thing is, they're still pretty young. In here, rather than being 12 or 13, they're about 15, 16. So they're still pretty young. Are there pilots who are of that age? Yes, but they're usually wait till they're like, in a lot of the books I've read, they wait till like they're 17, 18-ish. So they're still a little young, but the family does, the family is needed and called upon, because the Pines family is devoted to the Imperium and to the God Emperor. So they need those pilots. Now, the other thing is, Stan and Ford are still alive, and they've been Stan is, he's too old. Like, he's offered his service to be like, hey, I'll be, I can still I can still pilot one of these machines. I can wrestle that machine spirit into submission. I can make that bitch cry. I could still fight, but they're basically told, like, no, you're too old. And your brother, Ford has been living on a forge, has been serving on a forge world, repairing Titans. So he's been overseeing like the repairs and recovery of these Titans. In fact, Ford was the reason why they got both their parents' knights back, to their world. Like he recovered them, and repaired the damage from them. And now even says like Ford even tells Stan like, look, they're gonna be fine. Like the twins are needed. They're almost old enough, and furthermore, their parents' spirit, their parents' spirits are now part of the one with the Omnissiah. So they'll be guided by generations of the family. And Stan's kind of like, they're still young, and like, well, we don't have a choice here. They're the Imperium's enemies are always one step ahead. So get your shit, get over it, because we need them on the battlefield. So the twins, Mason and Mabel, both get into their, in the Knights, and Stan even warns them like ahead of time, like, look, this shit is not going to be pleasant. Like, you are going to encounter the machine spirit. You're going to encounter, pain that you have never experienced before. So I'm just warning you right now. This ain't going to be a pleasant experience. So I just need to warn you ahead of time of what you're in for. So please be careful, all right? So they, enter the Knights. They bond. They start trying to bond with the machine spirit in it and see all the, past battles the family's been a part of. Mason, Dipper Mason, he gets control of it pretty well. Mabel, on the other hand, gets just overwhelmed by it. Like, she just gets, she's trying her best to, keep up, but, she just gets overwhelmed by everything she's seeing, and it almost, damn near kills her. Like, she comes out, she's coughing up blood and stuff. Dipper, on the other hand, he gets it under control and just starts, moving the Knight, even though, he's, his nose, there's blood coming out of his nose and ears. He's, just trying to, beat down the machine spirit to serve him. So he gets it into he gets it ready. He's moving it around, and in a few short months, he has got mastery over the machine. And Ford's like, good. Well, Mabel's still a little behind, but the Pines family, in order to keep our honor, he's got to go out and fight. So there is a conflict regarding a massive orc Wa, across this sector of galaxy that the Imperium have already lost 3 planets to in this Wa. So they need knights out there for support, because these groups are using big stompas. So Mason's sent. He says goodbye to his sister and heads out. He and his knight head out, and they don't hear from him. They don't, it's 7 months, and in that time, Mabel's still trying to, bond with the machine spirit in her knight. Meanwhile, they haven't heard from Mason at all. Stan and Mabel have not heard from them, and they're kind of worried that, is he dead? Could he have been killed in battle? And they even, try to contact Ford. Have you heard anything from him? And they're like, no. We did drive off the Orc Wa, but, thanks to, Titan support, but, we don't know where he went. He went, he basically was part of the last thing we heard was that he went into battle in the last push, once we got not just Titan support, but also the Adeptus Astartes showed up. Once we got support from both the Salamanders and the Raven Guard, that's when the tide really turned against the Wa, and he was part of the last big push to drive them out of the system. Problem is, we don't know where the fuck he went. He went there, everything, he was part of it, and he's gone. So now Mabel's well, I gotta go find him. And they're like, Mabel, you're as far as we're concerned, you're the last last member of House Pines that can pilot, her knight. If we lose you, the family's gone. The family name is gone, so you can't go after him. So a few more months run by, and Mabel finally gets a full mastery of her knight, but she never forgot of her brother, who she still thinks is alive. She's still convinced her brother is still alive. and dreams of the day to go out and battle so she can have an excuse to go looking for him. And that chance comes when Ford arrives and is like, look, we know you're still having a little trouble mastering your weapon, the knight, but you are an Imperial knight and we need you for this mission because we have another system under attack by a Chaos Warband. It's a bunch of heretics. You got to go fight them. So Mabel assists, and yeah, she does. She goes there and is still trying to figure out this is the same. It's roughly in the same system where Dipper went missing. So could I have a chance to try to look for him? Yeah, but right now I got to fight in this. I got to fight these Chaos Titans. So she's a part of the artillery units, and they are fighting hard. They are straight up throwing everything they have against this Chaos Titan group that also are part of this Khorne warband that are being led by none other than Karn himself. Karn, the motherfucking betrayer, is part of this whole regime, and he's here to just wreck the ever-loving shit out of everyone. Why? Because Khorne cares not where the blood flows. So Karn has got this Titan Legion behind him. Reason being is because it's a forge world. This planet is a forge world that's specifically used to build Titans. So now it's a mad dash to protect this planet and this forge world. So Mabel and the other Titans are fighting their way through them. But amongst the chaos, there's this one Titan that just comes stomping through and just executing, just blowing away Titans and Knights left and right. And Mabel just looks at it and goes, by the Emperor, no, that's not him. And sure enough, there's Mason right there as now piloting a Chaos Titan. And she's like, Dipper, please tell me that's not you. Please tell me that isn't you in that armor. And he goes, his only response is, blood for the blood god, and just fires back at her. So she has to, at first she's like, I don't want to fight you, you're my brother, why are you doing this? And to which, Dipper's response is, in that last battle, I was left behind. My suit was destroyed. They left me to die. They left me to die against those orcs, and I was damaged. I was dying, and all I could do was fight. So that's what I fucking did, was just fight these orcs by myself, and just I fought just 5 or 8 stompas and just kept fighting and fighting, and all I could feel, I couldn't feel the machine spirit, I couldn't feel even the Emperor. All I could feel was rage and a need to kill, and that's when I found my true savior, Khorne. So he gave himself fully to chaos in that moment, and around that time, Karn's warband showed up and were like, yeah, you can tag along. He's just got his axe over his shoulder, yeah, you can tag along. So yeah, now he fights in the name, because now Khorne cares not where the blood flows. So Mabel just is like, I can't believe my brother is a heretic, and I can't, I wanted so long to see you again, and I hoped you weren't dead, but this is just so much worse. So inevitably, the twins fight, and Mabel's trying her best to convince her brother to come back to her. She's begging Dipper to come back to her as they're fighting, and Dipper's just fully into it, and he's just they're just fighting in this battlefield. These two knights are just clashing, chainsword to chainsword. Dipper's just blasting away with plasma into her side. It's just a mess. And also, throughout all of this battle, they are straight up just killing people on both sides in the middle of this battlefield, because you've got both Karn's warband, and you've also got the other Imperial guards and Mechanicus trying to fight off this attack as well. So they're just all getting, the two twins are just lost in this fight, that is just killing everyone. And Karn is just like, he doesn't care. He's just like, yes, this is a true battle that will make our Korn smile. By the end of the fight, the two twins are beaten and bloody, and both of their knights are just damaged to an incredible just incredible levels. There's no chance of coming back. So the two of them clash it one more time, and both go for the reactors in their suits, causing a massive explosion that kills everyone on the battle. Karn does survive. Like, Karn and a few other war bands do manage to survive, and Karn is just like, that'll do. Come on, let's go. Like, there's nothing we could do that could match this level of gore. The only problem was I wish I caused it. I was the one who did it. So Karn and them leave, and the two twins and their knights are gone. Stan gets the report that the last of his family's gone, and the House of Pines the line of the Pines family ends there. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Dipper and Mabel Imperial Knights. Let me know. Hope you all enjoyed this one. I think a lot of people kind of figured where this was going to go, but hey, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Am I right? But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this story? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone who voted on this story. This was a lot of fun. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.